Hi guys and welcome. EA have finally dropped the top 100 official FIFA 20 player ratings. So here we are. It was slightly delayed. It's about 50 minutes late, but here they are. So cracking us off with the 85 ratings. Ibrahimovic, that's SBC fodder I think for the year ahead. 5-star skill moves as always. So for you skillers, that could be a card potentially that you could fit a squad around early days. Bruno Fernandes is a good looking card. Very good looking with the Portuguese links to Ronaldo, etc. Saul, very well rounded stats, 4-star weak foot, 85 rated. So again, SBCs, early starter teams, that'll be fantastic. Ziyech has had an upgrade, I believe, and he's a cam, which is wow, those stats look pretty good actually. The weak foot though, a 2-star weak foot does let that card down. Now this card here, I think, has potential to be fantastic. Alan looks unbelievable with, the defending stats, dribbling, passing, pace. I think he's got good work rates if they've stayed the same as well. So 4-star skill as well for Alan. Good. That's a pretty good card. This could be a bit of a hidden gem card, especially for you Premiership teams. I believe he's 6'3", 4-star weak foot, which is pretty good. 3-star skill. I believe he was 4-star, 4-star last year, so maybe not ideal in that sense. But a good all-rounded Premier League card. He'll be expensive to start the year for sure. Milinkovic-Savic, 4-star, 4-star, good stats. Bit low on the pace, but apart from that, looking pretty good. Jimenez, not a little bit slow, just under 70 pace, but good defending and physical. Awful dribbling and passing though. Might be not a great card to use past the first couple of weeks. Manolas, always a good card. The pace, the defending, the physical. So that'll be a decent card to use there. So Koke coming in at number 91. Pretty much SBC fodder. He's far too slow to be playing on the wings. I think he's had a passing upgrade. So you could potentially bring him into the centre. But far too slow for my liking anyway. Icardi has had a downgrade. He's now an 85 overall. So the passing at 61. Dribbling 77. Shooting's good. Physicals are low. 3-star skill. That card is pretty much killed, if I'm honest. Carvajal looks good at 85. Decent pace, defending, dribbling, passing, physical. That's going to be a very popular La Liga card for sure. Alaba, always very popular if you've got a Bundesliga team. He's coming in at number 88. 4-star weak foot as well. 80s pretty much across the board, bar shooting. Physicals maybe a little bit low, but it all depends on the in-game stats. But a good-looking card, actually, for Alaba there. Matuidi, the 2-star really does kill Matuidi. That's the one like grudge about Matuidi. Apart from that, he's a very well-rounded card, and obviously in a favourable league with a nice nation link as well. Lukaku's had a downgrade. They've killed his dribbling. 72 dribbling for Lukaku. Good physicals, great shooting, decent pace, passing. Maybe a couple of informs might sort out that card. If he the balance and agility and stuff like that, and ball control goes up a little bit. Potentially with a 3-star, 4-star as well. Gomez, that's a very nice looking card. 4-star, 4-star, 85. So he's had an upgrade, I believe. I'm sure he was 84 last year. So great pace, great dribbling, passing's good, shooting's not bad. Obviously the physicals are quite weak. He's quite a short player as well, but usually plays brilliantly on different FIFAs. So that could be a good card to use. That looks a good centre back. Sule from Bayern Munich, good pace, great defending and physicals, passing and dribbling. It is what it is, but he's had an upgrade to an 85. Alexandro, that's a great looking card at 83 there. Great all round stats. Pace, defending, dribbling and passing, I think, in this game could be a little bit more important than previous FIFAs. So that would be the go-to centre-back for a Brazilian or a Serie A team, really. Fabinho, a little bit slow for a CDM. Great defending and physical, passing, dribbling. That's actually a really nice all-rounded card. The pace, I don't think, will impact that card that much. De Ligt, 85 overall. Below 70 pace, which I thought he might break the 70 barrier. Dribbling's not bad, passing's up there somewhere. 4-star weak foot as well. That's quite nice. That's quite nice. But defending and physicals for sure. If he gets a couple of special cards, a bit of run and form with Juve, he'll have an upgrade for sure. So that takes us. That's the 100 to 81s. So we'll have a little look at the 80 to 61s. Ah, right. Okay. So a couple of different rating changes here to start us off. Witsel, that card looks phenomenal. He's tall. He's got good work rates. 4-star, 4-star. 80s, his pace and shooting just below 80. That card looks fantastic. An informal 2 or a special card or something like that, team of the group stage or whatever. He is going to be a meta centre mid, CDM for sure. Robertson has had an upgrade to 85 overall. Looking at that card on face value, it doesn't look like it's had that much of an upgrade, if I'm honest. Defending, 80. The pace and defending are good. Passing, physical, dribbling, bit under par when you can compare it to, an Alexandro or other 85 rated players. But an upgrade nonetheless. Varane, wow. He looks like a meta card again this year. He's obviously dipped down from an 86 to an 85, but the stats, they're still there. The pace, the defending, the physical. He's going to be a link with Ramos and Courtois at the start of the game. The meta sort of back three for sure. Right, so here we are. A few upgrades and a few downgrades. De Jong. That's interesting. That card looks phenomenal. Centre mid, 85 rated. Nearly 80 pace, 84 passing, 88 dribbling. Defending and physicals as well. Be very interested to see what his in-game stats are. And the work rates and things like that. 4-star skill as well. The only thing lets it down is a 3-star weak foot. If that was a 4-star, 4-star, I reckon he'd be the go-to centre mid this year. He might well be that anyway. If he has a couple of good games for Barcelona, then who knows? That card could potentially be unbelievable. Rodriguez back at Real Madrid now from Bayern. Whoa! They have killed Rodriguez's pace. Wow, that's definitely a massive downgrade. 55 pace for James Rodriguez. Apart from that, obviously the dribbling, shooting, passing is phenomenal. But that pace, wow. 2-star weak foot as well. That's a yikes. Donnarumma, AC Milan, he's had an upgrade. He looks pretty good. 85 rated. Yeah, 90 reflexes and diving, the main standout stats there. So a little bit of an upgrade there. Marcelo has been downgraded heavily from an 88 to an 85. So still 80 pace, that's not too bad. Great dribbling, great passing. He's 5-star, 4-star, which is, it can get you out of trouble and stuff at left back. I've played all year with Team of the Year Marcelo, and he's my go-to number 1 player in the squad for sure. So it'd be interesting because Real Madrid have Mendy as well, don't they, left back? So that'll be a bit of a battle between them, depending what rating and stats Mendy has. He'll probably be about an 81, I'd imagine, somewhere around there. Pereiro been nerfed again on the pace, but he's kept his 86 rated, which is good. Defending and physical is a little bit lower than potentially what he could have at centre mid. Passing is great, shooting decent, dribbling. I can't see many people using him because of his pace. So he'll be SBC fodder for sure this year. Szczesny, 86 overall. Solid keeper for Juventus or Piemonte Calcio. That's a tidy goalkeeper for the Serie A for sure. Isco, heavily downgraded from an 89, I believe, to an 86. Generally looking at the card, apart from that pace, doesn't look too bad. Dribbling's obviously phenomenal. Passing's great. Shooting, it might not be an issue. It might be volleys and free kicks and things like that bring that stat down. So it's hard to tell without looking at the in-game stats. But 4-star skill, 3-star weak foot, not great, but definitely usable at the start of the game, right? Immobile has had a downgrade, surprisingly. I wouldn't have said that he was deserved of a downgrade. Arguably one of the best, most clinical for sure strikers in Europe at the minute. Didn't have a great season last year, so maybe that's why. But a good face card though. 80 pace, 85 great shooting. Dribbling is up there as well. Physical, he's quite a tall, strong player too. So yeah, that'll be interesting actually to see how he plays in game. 4-star weak foot as well. It's always handy for a striker. Coutinho for Bayern from Barca. So he's an 86 this year, which is interesting. Great stats though. You know, if you could bring him in at in-game plans and put him as a cam or something like that, that would be phenomenal. Just shy of 80 pace. Great shooting, great passing, phenomenal dribbling, obviously then with the 5-star weak foot. So the 5-star skill moves, apologies, and the 4-star weak foot. That could be a very, very usable card. You know, an inform or two as well on that card, and you're looking at plus 80 across the board. You know, high 90s dribbling. That potentially could be a bit of a hidden gem this season. Muller, 86 this season. Great shooting. Not the best dribbling, physical passing, or pace. I can't see that card being a go-to this year. SBC fodder again, I can imagine, as he has been probably for the last couple of FIFA editions. Umtiti below 70 pace. Good defending, good dribbling, good physicals, decent passing. Not bad for an 86. Obviously the French link and the Barcelona link will make it easy to put him into different squads. Skriniar as well, 86 rated. I believe that's an upgrade for Skriniar, I think. Great defending and physical. Good pace. Dribbling isn't, awful. 4-star weak foot on this card as well. That's not bad. That's not bad. Serie A looks like it could potentially be the go-to league this season. Rakitic, I believe, has gone down a rating. So from 87 to 86. 62 pace isn't ideal. Good dribbling, great passing, good shooting. Defending and physicals aren't too bad as well for a centre mid. Definitely usable. I think he's about 6 foot as well. Don't quote me on that. But 4-star weak foot, definitely a usable card, especially for the first couple of weeks or so. Bonucci. So I think Bonucci's had a downgrade in pace significantly, right? I don't think he was below 60 previously. Defending is obviously phenomenal. Physicals maybe potentially a little bit low, but again, depending on the in-game stats. 4-star weak foot, always desirable. But the pace, for me, he's far too slow this year. Verratti, I think he's had a dribbling upgrade. I don't think he was hitting the 90s previously. So he's going to be very agile, very good on the ball, great dribbling, good first touch. Passing is phenomenal as well. It looks like he's had a defending upgrade as well, nearly in the 80s there with his defending. Physical's a little bit low, and pace a little bit. Shooting is a bit of a worry, actually, from centre mid. But if you can get around that, then he might be usable. 4-star as well. Right, Firmino. So Firmino hasn't had an upgrade, which might surprise a lot of you Liverpool fans. Potentially he could deserve that maybe on previous seasons, but no, he stays at 86 overall. Centre forward. Very nice looking card though. A little bit slow potentially. Might deserve a little bit quicker than that if I'm honest. Good shooting. I'd imagine he'd have good finishing as well. In-game stats. Good passing. Physicals are up there as well, and great dribbling. So 4-star. That's going to be an expensive card in the Premier League for sure. Marquinhos from PSG, 86 rated this year. So yeah, that's a tidy looking card. That's a very tidy looking card. Decent pace, great defending, dribbling and passing are up there. Physicals, that could be good. Depending on the work rates, I think he's not the tallest either. So maybe not the meta card, but definitely usable for sure. Right, so that's that section of players covered. So this will be the 60 to 41. So it's starting to heat up a little bit. And there we are. There's an upgrade for Alexandre Lacazette. And wow, that card looks very well-rounded. 4-star, which is phenomenal. Pace is looking good. Shooting is looking phenomenal. I'd imagine the finishing stats on that have been increased. Dribbling as well. That looks like a very, very usable card. Potentially a card that might get a few informs with Arsenal this season if they are going to go down that route of making him the main striker with Pepe and Aubameyang either side. So that could be definitely a one to watch card, for the future, an upgrade or two, and that's high 90s and all stats. Links with Mbappe, etc. as well. So definitely a usable card this year for Lacazette, which is good to see as an Arsenal fan. Di Maria has had an upgrade, I believe. I think he was an 80. Was he an 86 maybe last year? I think he was a bit less. He has had an upgrade, I'm sure of it. Good dribbling. The weak foot, though. It stands out a mile, doesn't it? Stands out a mile. Can you imagine that card if it was a 4-star or a 5-star 4-star? He's got the skills. Shooting, I think, is improved. Passing and pace is great. But the 2-star weak foot, You could get away with it maybe in the first couple of weeks, but later down the line, I think that's what will catch you out with Di Maria. Pjanic, well-rounded, a little bit slow. He should have better shooting like that than that. His shooting in real life is actually fantastic. Maybe his long shots are high and his finishing is low or something like that. It's hard to tell. But good dribbling, great passing. Defending's up there as well. 4-star weak foot. Definitely usable. Leroy Sané. Wow. Okay, so 4-star skill, 3-star weak foot. Not the best with a weak foot, but certainly not the worst. Pace is phenomenal. Absolutely electric. He's going to be causing problems down that left-hand side all day long. Great dribbling as well to match the pace. Good shooting as well in the 80s. That's good to see. Passing, that's pretty good as well. That's going to be a very expensive card. Very expensive. But he keeps an 86 rating despite not being, I think he was more of a sub player last season. But yeah, 86 rating, that's not bad. Kimmich has had an upgrade. Wasn't too sure whether Kimmich was going to have a position change or not, because he is playing CDM at the moment for Bayern. But no, he stays at a right back. Potentially a little bit slow. Defending isn't great, physical isn't great. Dribbling and passing is fantastic. Maybe he would have suited a CDM position a little bit more based on his stats. But maybe at some point there might be an inform, or there might be a position changer or something like that where he can slot in at centre mid, and that he'd make a good CDM. So Navas at PSG has gone from Real Madrid. That's a nice looking card actually, with 90 diving, 90 reflexes. Keeps that 87 rated as well. So that'll be a nice card there for the Serie A, especially with Buffon retiring and not many other options in that division. So Vertonghen from Tottenham from the Premier League. Pace isn't great. Dribbling and passing are pretty good. Defending looks fantastic, and physicals are up there as well. He'd be a very usable card, I'd imagine, for a long period of time. The only thing that might catch him out is that 63 pace. But apart from that, looks pretty good. Now Insigne, I think he's transferred across from a left wing to a centre forward card. So that will boost his price for sure, and his usability in different squads. Pace is fantastic. Dribbling is fantastic. Passing, that's a really nice looking card actually. You could potentially play him at cam as well with that passing. Good shooting as well. I'd imagine the finishing would be okay. So I think he's going to be quite cheap for his stats, depending on how the prices of the Serie A goes. So he could be a little bit of a gem to try and pick up early on the Access or the web app or something like that. I think I might try and pick one up myself if I'm honest. 4-star as well. You can't really go wrong with that. Casemiro from Real Madrid, 87 overall. The defending and physicals are they obviously the standout stats there. Looks fantastic. Dribbling and passing is good. A little bit slow. Good shooting as well. I'd say that's a very, very good all-rounded card to start the game for sure. Right, Thiago Silva. So I think Thiago Silva's had a -1 downgrade by the looks of things. Very slow compared to previous FIFAs. Dribbling and passing is good. Defending is great, and physical's not the best. I think Thiago Silva's pretty short as well, at only 6 foot potentially. So yeah, he's definitely usable, especially with a French league team or something like that. But I don't think he's going to be one of the meta players, if I'm honest. Mertens, always a good card on FIFA. 4-star, very reliable. Great pace, great shooting, great passing, great dribbling. That's a great card. Links up with Insigne, as we just mentioned, Ronaldo. The list goes on with the Serie A players. It's a great league this year. So yeah, that's a great looking card. Stays the same rating though, no upgrades or downgrades. Laporte has been upgraded significantly in the ratings, and deservedly so with City as well. Amazing defending. Look at that. Partners with Van Dijk as well if you're rocking a Premier League team. So, 88 defending, 82 physicals, good passing, decent dribbling. Not the quickest. Pace could potentially let him down. If that was mid-70s, he'd be the go-to centre-back, right? So, yeah, decent cards. Definitely will see a lot of that in Weekend League and things like that for the first couple of weeks, couple of months. And the French link, of course. Thiago from Bayern keeps the 5-star skill. So, that's pretty good. Very slow, below 70 pace. So, no good at cam. would have to play centre mid. He doesn't really have the defending and physicals to play centre mid. Great passing though, phenomenal dribbling, 5-star skill. Usable, definitely usable, but for me, the pace kills that card a little bit too much. A big upgrade for Bernardo Silva, who I thought maybe might have been given a cam card rather than the right wing. But 81 pace, not the slowest. Great passing, phenomenal dribbling, 92 dribbling. That could be a key part of FIFA 20 with the new sort of play styles and things like that. So yeah, that's interesting for sure. If maybe if he plays centrally for City and gets an inform, an 88 cam Bernardo Silva could be fantastic. So Alderweireld, good defending. Again, the same scenario with the Tottenham centre backs. A little bit slow, just that pace. You know, if the pace was even 70, it would be something. But the defending and physicals are good. Dribbling and passing are there as well. Good rating and a good nation as well. So we'll see. We'll see whether people decide to slot Alderweireld in their Premier League sides and things like that. Wow, look at that. Son has got a centre forward card. He's had an upgrade as well. He's 87 rated. Look at that. 4-star skill, 5-star weak foot. Look at those stats. 88 pace, 86 shooting, 80 passing, 87 dribbling. He's going to be expensive. He's going to be expensive. If you can get your hands on a Son early doors, EA Access or the web app, or hold on to him. He is going to be pricey. He's going to be 200k plus, I'd say, if not some more as well. If he has an inform or a special card this year, those stats are just going to get even better. Look at them. Then the border in the 90s on his base card. That's pretty disgusting. That's all we're going to see is Son in the weekend league, aren't we? Son, Mbappe, Ronaldo. But we'll get to those in a second. Fernandinho, that's a good looking card. I believe he's gone up a rating as well from 86 to 87. Defending is great. Dribbling is good. Passing is good. Physicals are good. 80's pretty much across the board there, bar the pace. The pace lets Fernandinho down a little bit. But 4-star weak foot, that's handy to have as well. He'll be a part of the Premier League squads, the Premier League meta, I'd imagine, with those all-rounded stats. Just the pace, but you can add a chem style and stuff like that to help that out a little bit. Hummels, 87 rated. Ooh, 51 pace. He's lost quite a few pace points there. The defending is phenomenal, nearly in the 90s there. Physicals, maybe not the best, but again, it all depends on his stats. Stamina might have taken a hit or something like that, but strength, I'd imagine, would be up there. Dribbling and passing is good as well. Could potentially be a good German Bundesliga team with the ratings and the defending, but the pace, for me, is a little bit low, a little bit yo to make him usable. Jordi Alba, 87 rated, so he stays the same. 90 pace, which is fantastic at left back, especially now that Marcelo has taken a hit there. Defending is good. Dribbling and passing is great. Physicals, that's a very good card. That is a very good card. Obviously, the strong link with Ramos, strong link with Umtiti, etc. Very easy to link. So yeah, that's a great card. Strong link with De Jong as well, centre mid, who's obviously a very usable card this season. Benzema's had an upgrade as well, 87 for Benzema. That's quite a good rating. Average pace, not the slowest, not the quickest. Good shooting, good passing, very good dribbling. Better than I imagined, actually, Benzema's dribbling. I'd imagine he'd be quite strong as well. He's 6 foot at least. 4-star, 4-star. That could be a very nice card. A little bit of a pace chem style and maybe an inform or two. And you've got a very usable striker there for the Liga Santander. So that's going to wrap up the 60 to 41s. This is where the ratings are going to creep up a little bit, I think. So 40 to 31, interesting. So 2 goalkeepers to start us off. Handanovic, very all-rounded goalkeeper there, 88 rated. I think he keeps his rating from last season. Courtois has been downgraded by 2 ratings. His player picture doesn't really do him any favours either. Bit of a bad season at Real Madrid. I think Real Madrid had a bad season in general, to be honest. I think a lot of their players have actually been downgraded this season. So yeah, very justifiable rating there for Courtois, I believe. Still a great keeper though, 88 overall. Great stats across the board. He'll be the strong links with Varane and Ramos as well. So he'll be in a lot of teams, a lot of squads. Dybala keeps an 88 rated. Despite all the rumours of being left out the team and all sorts of things like that, and not really having a phenomenal season last year with Juve. But great pace, great shooting, great passing, immaculate dribbling. Look at that, 90 dribbling. 4-star skill moves, only a 3-star weak foot, so not perfect, but great stats for a cam there, in a good league as well. Very good league, very good card that actually from Paulo Dybala. Diego Godin now at Inter. Great defending physicals as expected. Good rating as well, 88 rated. The pace again, a little bit low. Definitely usable for sure, but there are a lot of good centre back options now in the Serie A, so maybe that potentially won't be a playable card, but SBC fodder nonetheless. 88 again for Lloris. Yeah, I'd say he deserves to keep that rating. He's been pretty good in the nets for Spurs and France. Obviously, France is number 1. So yeah, 88 for Lloris there. Can't really say too much about that. That's interesting. David Silva, 88, which I believe is deserved. He's phenomenal still, you know, at City. Passing, dribbling is obviously he's one of the best. He's up there with the best, especially in the Premier League. Pace, he's definitely lost a lot of pace over the years for sure, so that is justifiable. Definitely a usable card. Definitely a usable card. But the pace again, and I'd imagine stamina has taken a hit as well. 2-star weak foot, which arguably is, I think a 3 would be justifiable, but there we are. But 88 rated for David Silva this year. Wow, that's interesting. Ederson's been given a bit of a boost. 88 rated for the City keeper there. Look at the kick in there, 93, which again is justifiable. I can't argue with that. He's going to be very popular. The Brazilian links, the Premier League links. That's an expensive goalkeeper right there. Interesting, very interesting. Great stats, great stats. Marco Reus, 88 rated. He's kept his rating, and quite rightly so. Cam as well for Dortmund. Impeccable stats. 4-star, 4-star, 85 pace, 88 shooting, 84 passing, 87 dribbling. The only problem with this card on FIFA 19 was his stamina. You know, he'd be finished by half-time, and that was the one downfall of that card. The Bundesliga Player of the Month, if that's still a thing in FIFA 20, I believe it is. He could potentially be in the runnings for that if he has a good couple of games and stuff like that. So there's lots of potential for the Bundesliga players to get a lot of upgrades. So that will be definitely something to keep an eye on. But that card, his face card at 88 rated, is fantastic. Cavani, that's interesting. I think he's had a -1 downgrade, which I'm not sure I agree with, really, considering he's been the main front runner, him and Mbappe last season with PSG. Great shooting, you know, he's phenomenal in front of goal. Dribbling is good. Physicals obviously are up there. 3-star skill move, which is fair enough. 4-star weak foot, which is great for a striker. Not a bad card. Not a bad card. Very well rounded for a striker, especially if that's the game plan that you desire to play with a taller sort of central player. But yeah, downgrade for Cavani there, surprising. Paul Pogba, the man that seems to raise quite a lot of debate quite often. But he keeps his 88 rated. Some people were saying, you know, he's potentially an 89. Some people were saying, no, he deserves to be an 87, 86. But 88, he keeps his rating. Keeps the skill moves at 5-star, 4-star. So a little bit dangerous in the middle there, which is good. I am a big fan of Pogba on FIFA 19 and previous FIFAs. So yeah, not the slowest. So 74 pace isn't too bad, especially for someone that's 6'3" as well. I believe he is. Great dribbling, shooting. You know, his long shots and his shot power are going to be up there with the best. Passing, he's a phenomenal passer of the ball. Long passes, short passes. His in-game stats, I'd imagine, would be pretty good. Great physicals as well, so that would suggest that he's got great stamina and strength like previous FIFAs. Defending a little bit low, if you want to play him at CDM or maybe centre mid. Could put a shadow on him for the pace and defending boost, and he'll be high 80s across the board. So Paul Pogba coming in at the number 31, a very good looking card again this year. So this is it, 30 to 21. And straight away we can see an upgrade for Eriksen there. Wow, that card looks phenomenal. 4-star, 5-star, so one of the 5-star weak-footed players, which is good to see. Good pace, great dribbling and passing, phenomenal. Shooting is up there as well. He's going to be an expensive player at Cam there for Tottenham. Wow, yeah, that card is pretty special, I'd say. especially with an upgrade or two. So we move on then to the 88 rated Toni Kroos from Real Madrid. 3-star, 5-star, so he keeps the 5-star weak foot, which is great in the middle. Dribbling is great, shooting is great, passing is phenomenal. 90 passing, you can't really argue with that. Physicals and defending aren't too bad. They're in the middle there, middle of the road. But the pace for me is a massive letdown there on Kroos, which has been potentially the reason why he hasn't been that usable in previous FIFAs. But yeah, 45 pace. I can't see him being in many teams past the first week or two, if I'm honest. Sadio Mane, 88 overall. So there has been an upgrade for Mane, and quite deservedly so. Great dribbling, blistering pace. Just slightly slower than Sane, I believe. I think Sane was the fastest at 95, but 94 nonetheless. Great shooting, so hopefully his finishing, etc., has been increased a little bit there. Passing, not the best, but for a left wing, depends on the in-game stats, that might be fine. Good physicals, so whether his strength and stamina have been boosted a little bit, but that's going to be a very popular card. Very expensive, very popular, but yeah, great card nonetheless, and a deservedly upgrade as well. Neuer, down to an 88. Can't say that he's been as good as he previously was, maybe at Bayern, but he's got time to change that this season. He's still their number one, so yeah, 88 rated for Neuer. Still a great keeper with great stats, kicking, handling, but yeah, taking a bit of a hit there on the ratings. PK, I think that's a +1 rating for PK. Apologies if some of these ratings aren't quite right when I compare them with FIFA 19. I haven't got anything to check them on the screen. I'm doing it off the top of my head from the game knowledge, so I think it's a +1 for PK. The pace is pretty low, but defending, physicals, passing, dribbling, he's up there. Pretty good. I think a problem with PK as well was his work rate, so I don't think he was that tall either. So, yeah, SBC fodder potentially because of the pace, but nonetheless, an upgrade for PK. Now then, this is where we start to get interesting as an Arsenal fan. Aubameyang, 88 rated, so I believe that's a +1 potentially for Aubameyang, or it might be the same rated after. I think he had an upgrade, didn't he? But anyway, look at those stats. 94 pace, obviously he's electric. Great finishing, well, shooting in general. Passing, not the best, but as a striker, it's not that important, I suppose. Good dribbling, maybe his balance and agility isn't quite up there. But a good card, good height as well, 4-star, 4-star. He's going to be very, very popular and very expensive because of the pace. But a very well-rounded striker card there from Aubameyang. So, yeah, he's had an upgrade. Sterling at 88 on the right wing. Deservedly so. Very quick, great dribbling. But for City fans, I'd suppose they'd argue that he deserves better shooting. He's scored quite a fair few goals now over the last couple of seasons, really. And he's obviously started this season with a flurry of goals. So that could be potentially the only thing there that's a bit questionable. But a very nice rating for Sterling. 3-star weak foot, though, not ideal. But it is what it is. A very usable card for sure. De Gea, he's gone down a rating at United. So not really much to say about that. Good stats. He's potentially, we haven't seen Alisson yet, actually. So he might not be the Premier League number one. But it's between him and Alisson for the Premier League number one by the looks of things, unless I missed Alisson completely. But yeah, Ederson's below him now, just. And he has dropped down. But a good keeper nonetheless, especially that Spanish link with Ramos, etc. could be very usable. Luis Suarez, I believe that's a downgrade for Suarez from 91, I think Suarez was. He was either 91 or 90. He definitely wasn't an 89. Great finishing, shooting, passing, dribbling, physical as well. He's a very strong player on the ball. But the pace, maybe the pace is what's taken a bit of a hit then, more noticeably. He's not as electric as he was. He's lost a yard for sure. But yeah, a decent striker. In a very good league this year. You know, with Hazard and Griezmann. Very usable card for sure. 4-star weak foot as well is very handy. Sergio Busquets is an 89. Again, the pace has been Busquets' problem for a long time. But passing, 80. Could be a little bit higher, I think, for Busquets. Dribbling is great. Defending and physicals are great. That's a very well-rounded card apart from the pace. That's the one thing that really does hit that Busquets card, if I'm honest. But yeah, that's going to round up the 21s. So this is 20 to 11. So we're getting closer, we're getting to the top, and there he is. We were talking about Alisson. We can see him on the screen there. But firstly, we'll go to Griezmann. Obviously, a big money move to Barca from Atletico. Good pace, great shooting, great dribbling, passing, physicals as well. Generally speaking, he's a good player on FIFA as well. If you know what I mean, he's got that something about him that makes him move nicely and whiz past people. 3-star weak foot, not the best. 4-star skills is handy. That's a very nice card. Very nice, well-rounded stats for a centre forward there. Now then, Alisson. So he does take the spot at number 1 in the Premier League for goalkeepers. Obviously a Brazilian link as well, which is very useful. Had a great season at Liverpool, a couple of seasons really. So he's really put a stamp on his overall there for sure. Well, he's tied, isn't he, with De Gea. They're both on 89. But he's definitely had an upgrade to put him at that level. And deservedly so. So that's Alisson. The Liverpool fans will all be happy with that. Kante is kept an 89 rated. A little bit of, controversial things. Maybe he should have been downgraded a little bit because Chelsea were in a bad run of form. He was played out of position and stuff like that. But Kante, great dribbling, passing, pace as well, defending, physicals. We know what Kante's about. He's been a pain to play against for a few FIFAs now, and it looks like with those stats and that rating, it's going to be the same thing. But deservedly so at 89. I think he's a phenomenal player. Right then, we've had some interesting ratings here. So Koulibaly, that's a big upgrade. That's a massive upgrade for Koulibaly, 89 rated. That puts him in at number 17 on the top 100. The pace, great. The defending and physicals, great. Dribbling and passing, potentially a little bit low for that rating. Yeah, a little bit slow actually for an 89. Looking at those stats, but a great centre-back nonetheless. Harry Kane, 89 rated. Now, wasn't Harry Kane upgraded to a 90 last season? I know his base card was 89, but I'm sure he had an upgrade. Or maybe he didn't. Either way, he's either kept the rating or he's gone down one. Amazing shooting, as we all know. One of the best, prolific in front of goal. Dribbling, that's pretty good actually for Kane. Passing is, round about 80. Good physicals, strength, height. Pace, it's pretty low, but he's not a blisteringly fast player. Could be usable with the way that FIFA is going with maybe slower play styles and stuff like that. So that'll be interesting, but that shooting stat, obviously the standout one. Now this, if I've looked at this correctly, it baffles me. Surely Lewandowski, he was a 91 or a 90 rated. He had a great season last year. He scored 20 plus goals. I'd imagine he'd have a handful of assists as well. He was in team of the season. He had informs across the board. And he's had a downgrade, which is interesting. The card still looks great. It still looks good. It's pretty quick. Not the quickest, but certainly not the slowest. Amazing shooting. His finishing will be in the 90s, I'd imagine. Passing's decent. Fantastic dribbling for quite a tall striker. He's 6 foot plus. And the strength as well. 4-star, which is phenomenal. Yeah, that's a little bit of a strange one, if I'm honest. Maybe I've got my stats wrong. Maybe he had an awful season. But I'm sure he was 20 goals plus again. I think he's the leading Bundesliga top scorer this season so far. Or joint top scorer, whatever. He's up there somewhere. And yeah, that's a little bit of a controversial one, if I'm honest. Maybe you can let me know down in the comments if maybe if I've got that wrong or maybe a reason why that's happened. But yeah, very interesting there for Robert Lewandowski. Chiellini, 89 rated. That's not a bad card. I think he's out injured as well for a long period of time, so he's not really going to get any upgrades. But that's not bad. 68 rated. Pace, obviously immaculate defending. He's been one of the best for a long time. Good physicals as well. Passing and dribbling isn't the best, but certainly in that league he's more than usable. That's a very nice card. Aguero, 89 rated. Possibly could have thought he might have crept up to maybe a 90. 80 pace isn't the best really. He's still quick. Don't get me wrong. 90 shooting is deserved. Definitely in front of goal. He's electric. Dribbling as well is up there. Physicals, hopefully strength is pretty good on that, and stamina. Passing as well. It's a nice card. It's a shame about the pace, but nonetheless, that's a pretty good card if I'm honest. Sergio Ramos, that's a good card. He's had a downgrade, I believe, by the looks of things. 72 pace, 87 defending, 85 physical. Still a great card. Fantastic card across the board there. But yeah, he's taken a hit then. He's taken a downgrade. Kylian Mbappe. What a card that is. 5-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot. Wow, that's pretty phenomenal if you ask me. Look at the pace, the dribbling, the shooting. He's moved from a right wing as well to a striker. That is interesting. That is definitely going to be the meta card for a long time with those stats and that rating. So wow. So we move on to the top 10 and look at that. Ter Stegen's had an upgrade. Can't really say much about that. But 90 overall for Ter Stegen. Modric potentially could have been a little bit lower. But they've kept him at a 90, or I think he was a 91 actually, but 90 overall for Modric. Good stats across the board actually. Very well-rounded card at a 4-star, 4-star. Salah has had an upgrade to 90 rated. That card looks great. Pace, dribbling, shooting, that's what he's like in real life. It represents him quite well on the card there. 3-star weak foot is the one thing that will let him down. Maybe not initially, but as time goes by and better cards come out of nowhere, that's certainly what will happen there. Van Dijk has had a big upgrade, 90 overall, and quite deservedly so. I'm sure Premier League, Netherlands fans and Liverpool fans will both agree with me there. The pace is, look at that, nearly in the 80s. Dribbling and passing is 70 plus. And he is a great passer of the ball as well, so that's accurate there. And defending and physical, look at that. He's going to be a nightmare to play against. You just know it now. Weekend League, division rivals. Van Dijk will be the centre of the team for sure. Oblak has had a big upgrade, so I believe he's the #1 keeper on FIFA, which is interesting because he wasn't put in the team of the year, was he? De Gea was, but yeah, Oblak, I agree with that. I think he's phenomenal at Atletico. Clean sheets all round. The stats speak for themselves. De Bruyne, 91 overall, obviously a great player in the Premier League. Has suffered a little bit with injuries, but he's back to his best now for sure. A little bit slow, but with that shooting, passing and dribbling, the physicals as well, the weak foot, that's definitely a meta card. Quite tall as well, I'd imagine he'd be pretty strong. If he gets an inform or two, wow, that's something if that pace can creep up to 80. But phenomenal stats all around the board. Eden Hazard, the big money move to Real Madrid from Chelsea. Great pace, great dribbling, shooting, amazing passing. Exactly what you imagine really when you think of Eden Hazard. 4-star, 4-star as well. That's going to be an expensive one. But great stats though from Hazard in a good league as well. So Neymar keeps his 92 rated. The pace, the dribbling, obviously 95 dribbling is amazing. Shooting, passing, I think he's better rounded this year if I got those stats correctly. But yeah, 5-star, 5-star, he's going to be a 400, 500k plus player to start the game. I'm sure of that. He's going to be in demand as well. So this is interesting. So as you can see there at number 2, we have Cristiano Ronaldo, which can only mean one thing. We'll save that for a second. I did just scroll down, but wow. So Ronaldo is he's gone down a rating. He's been downgraded by 1. 5-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot, so that stays the same. 90 pace, that's not bad considering he's getting a little bit older now. 93 shooting, obviously impeccable in front of goal. He's tall, his high-low work rates, if they're the same, great dribbling. That's a phenomenal card regardless. But that only means one thing, that Lionel Messi is higher rated than Ronaldo, and he is the &1 for this upcoming FIFA 20. Let's have a little look at the card. So 87 pace, 92 shooting, 92 passing, 96 dribbling. They've boosted his passing no end. That's a great looking card. I just pray that they've added some stamina to that physical, because his stamina was the one thing that let him down. This card could be exceptional. Exceptional. That dribbling and passing combination could be valuable. So the 4-star, 4-star doesn't have 5-star skill like Ronaldo, but yeah, very, very interesting there with the ratings. So Messi is high, Ronaldo, that's what the talking point will be. But some very, very interesting upgrades and downgrades there. It's looking pretty good actually. So that is going to be the end of the video. I've rambled on for far too long here, if I'm honest. If you've stuck with us this long, then shout out to you. That's I think it's about a 45-minute video, which is absolute madness. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. It is the first video as well, so if you have liked this, if you could please give the video a like and subscribe down below. We do live stream on Mixer, and when FIFA 20 comes out, we will be doing a Road to Glory. So we'll be doing daily content of that, about 6 to 7 hours a day. So I'll put that in the description. And yeah, any comments or feedback on the video, very much appreciated. And I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace out.